Hey everybody, how are you? Well, it's me. Um, I'm currently in a walk-in closet, and that's because I'm doing some testing of yet another microphone. But yeah, uh, here's the thing. I've been thinking. Um, I narrated an audiobook before. It was one of those executive summary type books. It was basically about 35 minutes long for the book 13 Hours. And it took several hours to record those 35 minutes of audio of me reading the executive summary, but it wasn't too hard. And it is time consuming, but I'm thinking about maybe starting to try to do some more narration. And I think I might do an audiobook version of one of my own novels. I think that might be a good place to start for now. The audiobook that I did, the executive summary of 13 Hours, is gone. It's no longer out there, it's no longer available. I'm not sure why. I wasn't notified of anything like it being taken down or the company that provided them or put them out, put them out going out of business or anything like that. So I'm not sure what happened. I just know that it's no longer available. So I've been considering it. So, in order to do that, I needed some different equipment because broadcasting and podcasting is different than doing voiceover and narration work. So, that results in me being inside of a walk in closet that's stuffed full of clothing, which I didn't have to plan for. It just happens to be here. And having some foam and pillows and things like that up on the shelving in order to keep the sound a little, down, to try to make it as flat sounding in here as possible. I have one of my homemade sound panels on the wall behind me, but there are some more that would need to be done in here in order for it to work. But I've got that. I didn't have to do anything. Didn't cost me any money to do some sort of a makeshift sound booth in here, but I'm doing some testing to see what the quality is going to be like. So I also had to buy a new microphone. And it's not a microphone that I would necessarily use on the podcast or anything because it isn't really built for those things. Some people do, but you'd have to be podcasting from inside this closet. And I don't know how well that would work. I mean, I could do it, but where am I going to put the camera? I can put the camera anywhere, but it's going to look goofy. Anyway, if it was doing audio only, it wouldn't be a problem. I could do it. But this is a condenser microphone. It's the Rode NT1, a very highly thought of microphone. And, I always get tied up in the hype of things, and I always, nearly always, write it off to being bullshit. Because, of course, everyone's going to market their device, the best way they can. And everyone is going to send a free one out to some well known YouTube guy who's going to review it and go, wow, this is awesome. And it was also free. But I usually, I kind of wishy washy, 50-50 kind of thing when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I hesitated to pick up this microphone. It's not an expensive microphone, but it is highly respected. It's used in voiceover, it's used for music, it's used for all manner of things, including some podcasting. But it's a condenser microphone, which means it's really designed to be in a studio. It's highly sensitive. And I was in the other room just clicking on the keyboard, setting up me walking into this room. The computer and everything is in the bedroom, and this is the walk-in closet in the bedroom. So the computer is about 15 feet away from here, and the microphone is here on a stand in the closet. And the microphone was picking up what I was doing at the keyboard, and it was picking up me talking to myself and everything when I was trying to set up everything. So it's highly, highly sensitive. So it has to be a really well treated environment for it to be effective. Otherwise, you're going to hear everything. You're going to hear people walking around. You're going to hear the TV downstairs in the living room and, cars going by outside no matter what I do. So I have to do what I can inside this closet to isolate it a little bit. But so far, it's pretty good. I was doing a little test. The first test recording I was doing was appropriate because a train went by. There's a train track about a quarter of a mile from us. And yeah, boy, it was clear as day on here. And on the dynamic microphone that I usually use for the podcast, that would usually go unnoticed on the recording because of the sound suppression and the frequency response range of that particular microphone. It's made to reject sound that's not where you want it to be. 6 or 8 inches from the microphone in a specific direction. So sometimes trains go by when I'm recording the podcast, and it doesn't matter because you don't ever hear it. But this thing, wow, I could probably tell you how many cars were on the train and whether it was Southern Pacific or CSX. Is Southern Pacific still a thing? Am I aging myself by saying Southern Pacific? I don't know. I'm assuming it's still a thing. Suffolk Northern is another train that goes by here fairly often. This is kind of a link track. Anyway, I researched it once because I was going to talk about it in a book. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing, and I'm checking it out. So I think uh, the only thing I can say is I'm incredibly impressed by this microphone. Number one, for its price point, and number two, for its performance, because it is listed as being one of the quietest microphones in the world as far as self noise is concerned. Even some of the most expensive microphones that are used in studios around the world that cost thousands of dollars have 7, 8, 10, 12 decibels of self noise. This has 4. So it's essentially non existent to human hearing. And it's amazing. So I'm doing some recording, just doing some testing. I might post this just so people can hear what it's like, the difference between the types of microphones and the types of recording environment, how it sounds different inside this closet than it does even in there with the other dynamic microphone, because it's a quality dynamic microphone. Oddly enough, these are both Rode microphones. I guess oddly isn't it really a good term because they really, really make some good stuff. And I'm not sponsored by Rode, even though I own several Rode things now. Definitely not getting any kickbacks on that. And I don't even have any affiliate links or anything for you to buy them. So don't look for any of that crap from me currently. Maybe in the future, if somebody can hook me up with how to do that, because I have no idea. Uh, anyway, I'm going to go and turn off the recording now and check it. And if it sounds okay, I think I'm going to post it so that I can listen to it in the truck, tomorrow, and get a feel for how that sound translates to listening to it in your car or listening to it on headphones or on your phone, things like that. So I'm going to run and turn it off now. Thanks for listening. I got to go through this door. It's a little tight squeeze. And I'm currently just sitting in front of the computer, and I'm going to hit stop now. And I'm only doing this because I know it's going to get picked up on the microphone. So